Today's video, we're going to be checking out the DC Collectibles DC Artist Alley. This is Hainanu Nooligan Saulque, the Joker Day of the Dead Gamestop exclusive. Inspired by popular comic convention experience, DC Artist Alley is an artist-focused limited edition designer vinyl art figure line that merges indie design with the most iconic characters in the DC universe. Hainanu Nooligan Saulque is an artist, comic creator, and graphic designer based in Sacramento, California. From the cartoons of his youth to the films he missed by decades, the Golden Age comics to classic newspaper strips, you'll find a creator who has immersed himself in what he loves. Let's go ahead and grab the tape measure, figure how tall Mr. J stands. That's about right. You're looking at a statue that stands 7.4 inches, or in centimeters, you're looking at 18.7. Like with the Batman, Joker comes with his own depiction, or the original drawing from Nooligan, as to what the statue then is based from. Here we have the Joker holding one singular stem of flowers and his Joker cards in the back. I'd mentioned this with the Batman, that the quality of the paper feels something on par with like a business card. You can see that it's got a really nice wovenness, kind of texturing, nice feel to it. Down below we've got DC Artist Alley, and then right next to it, neighboring to that, is the artist's signature. Again, a really nice looking card. Something I will consider doing, like I said with the Batman review, is putting it behind the statue, so that you get that immediate, oh, okay, that's the original drawing. Maybe even like put it up like this behind the statue. I think that would really look quite good. And put that to the side. One comparison, of course, we could make is the Joker next to Batman. Now, I had mentioned when we looked at the Batman that the intent from Nooligan was that it was going to play off one another. So I guess if you slightly angled the statue, it could look as if Joker's offering up Batman a flower. Isn't that so nice? When asked about Joker's design, Nooligan had said, "The clown prince, impeccably dressed, inflicting chaos for amusement. Creating something suitable of royalty is as fun as it sounds. I did my best to bring all the Joker's iconic elements together to create something special fitting for the clown." So I think that is actually that's a good description of the Joker. We'll just move Batman. Actually, you know what? We'll keep Batman just in frame for the time being. Unlike Batman, Joker does actually come with a few accessories. We'll start first looking at his display base. Underneath, this is now an artist proof, but normally a release copy of these would be $1,500, and again, only exclusive to GameStop. Here it just happens to say artist proof 20. And but like I said, for accessories, he does come with these little playing cards. Let me just show you how, when you get them out of packaging, they are individual, or at the very least, they are separate from Joker's hand. You have to apply them yourself. One side has no printing on it, so you want to have the side that faces out. And these ones I just put to the back. The one in the front has the same sort of idea, except here you've got J on the front, kind of telling us who the cards belong to. When you put them into his hand, you'll see that the hand has two slots. One slot fits the back cards, and I just want to show you as well, there's this little groove sitting on the bottom of the card, and then you'll just slide that in place. I find actually that the back cards are a little harder to get in than the ones in the front. Just get that in place like so. Then we can go ahead and add, like the front cards I find are just so much easier to plug into place. And then you've got Joker. I do like that the cards are kind of offset from one another. One is a little bit tilted this way, so you can see that he's holding multiple cards, as opposed to them being one in front of the other. Again, you're taking the two designed characters, and in this case, you're giving them the Day of the Dead treatment. Batman looked really neat, shy for, of course, the fact that what I initially thought was his mustache turned out, in fact, to be the bottom part of the skull that they instead painted black. It should have actually been white. But of course, both of them have the skeletal decos here. And as we've spent so much time looking at Batman, we'll just kind of move him to the side. Bring them all in when we have a look at the Harley Quinn, but can't certainly take any tension away from Mr. J, as again, this is a really neat looking statue. What I think works so well for Joker is that he seems to have a much more open palette, an open canvas, if you will, to start being really creative with him. I think the Day of the Dead resonates a lot better here on Joker than it did with Batman, just because there's so much more other things, so many other fun things that you can do with Joker's face. So taking like the conventional face, which actually, by the way, that's a good segue. Here's the original, here's the card, came included with the statue. This is what the original Joker will look like. I hope to get my hands on that Joker so we could have a look at him on the channel here. But this one definitely, the Day of the Dead version, definitely has a lot more going for it. Colorings look about the same, except for the fact that Joker's legs have been swapped from black to here purple. The jacket is still purple. The undershirt would have been a black and white sort of checkerboard here. Instead, it's white. And the playing cards themselves would have stayed white, whereas here's the black and red. So again, like looking at the face, it really looks fun. Very inviting as well. Well, not necessarily from a face sculpt standpoint, but it definitely is something where it draws your eyes towards the face. I really quite like the recessed mouth. It almost seems to stretch forever. You can look in there and you almost see what a levitating tongue almost. Big teeth. I like that quite a bit. But like I said, like the Day of the Dead works exceptionally well here on Joker. I keep kind of going like this to his nose because I am sort of pointing out one of the more fragile ends of the Joker, so just be a little bit mindful of that. This is a very thin plastic. The rest of his face, I don't really have any issues with it. Again, I do like the much broader, much opened eye on the one side versus the closed, slightly more squinted eye on this side. Almost this floral artwork that's been just branded across Joker's face. Just love it. A little bit actually gets carried down into his collar as well. Of course, you have these small little details that you pick out here and there as you're looking at it. For example, you've got the little skull down below there, skull and crossbones. Almost like a faux rib cage happening on the sides of Joker's jacket here. Looks like there's a heart. I like the texturing of also his jacket. Can't imagine that this is exclusive specifically to the Day of the Dead release. It probably will be also consistent with, can't imagine that they would have changed the mold, so it probably will be the same on the standard release as well. Some bones there, painted, decoed on his arms. Of course, he's got his flower. Now, the original Joker would have a red flower. This happens to be more of a white. It almost kind of looks not very brushed up on my plants, but maybe a lily. I'm not really quite certain. Or an orchid. Of course, you've got the playing cards on the other hand. On the other hand, nice extended fingers on him. And coming all the way down, once again, Joker's got, much like Batman, a pair of sneakers. Uncertain the actual brand of the sneakers, but rather like a basketball style of shoe, with also has that same skeletal skull deco there. Very clean on the paint. I don't see any imperfections at all on this particular statue. Even like the straps that come down from his suspenders, I don't see any overlap of paint where painting the black has dripped its way onto the purple. Very clean, very pristine. There's the back of it. Got the spinal cord there, spinal column. It is really a beautiful piece. As much as I like the Batman, which we've already had a look at, I will definitely say that my favorite might so far be Joker. I haven't yet looked at the Harley Quinn, but I definitely would say that Joker so far is the front runner for my favorite of this lineup, this trio, if you will. Now, if you are curious as to why they have sneakers, the inclusion of sneakers is based on the idea that the style of the shoe can go with anything, anyone, in any situation. This is, by the way, what Hainanu had said. I love the fact that the simple sneaker, so that's why you can see all the statues that he's released so far have sneakers. I love the fact that the simple sneaker has been around since the early 1900s, has gone in and out of style nearly every decade, and worn by every walk of life with little to no change. There is something special about connecting that history to the iconic characters of the DC Universe, and if I do say so myself, it just works. And I happen to say, though conventionally it sort of breaks the rules of what a Batman would never really wear sneakers, but it seems to work quite well with the stylistic design of these particular characters here. Those wishing to add the Clown Prince of Crime to their existing DC Collectible statue collection will only be able to find this particular release at your local GameStop, if you have a local GameStop. The standard release and a much more larger quantity of 3,000 can be found at any comic book store. If you can't find them at your local comic book store, see if the person there can order them in for you. But this one I think I really do like a little bit more. I might be a little bit biased for saying that because, quite frankly, I don't have the standard versions yet in hand, but I do really like the more skeletal design of these. Halloween being the favorite of my holidays, the Day of the Dead treatment looks quite good. It looked good on Batman, but it looks exceptionally good here on Joker. And like I said, though, the limited quantity means that these are going to be a little bit harder to come by. You could try to track down a local GameStop in your area. I don't think here in Canada we have many GameStops, so you may have to source these out online. 1,500, though, very small quantity compared to the regular 3,000 quantity release of the standard edition. But still, I like these ones, and I'm probably going to put these ones out every single year for Halloween because I just dig the skeletal design of these. And I also do like Hainanu Saulque's work, having already looked at his bookends in a previous review as well. Well, I guess all to be said now, if you guys haven't had a chance to hit that little subscribe button down below, what are you waiting for? Of course, we're going to have a look at the Harley Quinn. She's going to be coming up in the next review. Kind of giving it away, but I guess you already knew that was going to be happening. We're going to have a look at the Harley Quinn, so of course she's going to be coming in the next review. If you guys haven't had a chance to swing by the homepage, come on by. Got like egg salad sandwiches and lemonade as far as the eye can see. I've got I want to say 120 sandwiches. That's a lot of eggs. That's a lot of mayonnaise, although I use Miracle Whip. So stop on by, grab yourself a sandwich, grab yourself a drink, and check out the video section on my homepage. See if there's anything you may have missed along the way. Maybe, for example, you might have missed out on the DC Artist Alley Nooligan Batman that I just recently had a look at. I know I talked about him in this review, but if you missed that review, the best way you'll know and the best way you'll find out is check out the homepage, scroll down the section of videos, and see if there's something that you may have missed along the way. As always, guys, thanks for watching as you always do. I'll see you next time.